Hello, this is a product review for the Camco water heater tank rinser, the Suburban Anode Rod replacement. Here you see where we had a stuck anode rod inside of our travel trailer. It had been in there for probably since its inception, which was well over 12 years. So it actually got stuck in there. Here I had to use an impact drill in order to release the anode rod from being stuck. You can see a lot of the debris that's fallen out. Here, just more and more chunks of the debris and sediment. And look at the anode rod. There's nothing left of it. It had been completely corroded inside the hot water heater. At this point in time, all I did was just let it drain from the hot water heater until it came out where there's nothing left inside. Here, I went and placed the hot water tank rinser and removed that. It's a Camco product. All it is basically just an extension arm that goes and allows your hose to be hooked up and to rinse out the bottom part inside the hot water heater. Simply just connect to a normal garden hose or any travel trailer hose, and of course it will spray out the water. The best method that I found with this is to take the rod itself and place it back as far as you can to begin with in the hot water heater. That way it gets a lot of that sediment coming forward. If you notice the water here, how muddy and murky it is, it was really, really corroded inside. So I did multiple runs of cleaning this out. You don't have to do that. That was just my own preference. I'd like to go ahead and get the job done once and go ahead and just continue to do it over and over until it actually got clean. And here you can see I'm basically taking the rod itself and twisting around inside there to get some stuff off the walls and off the base of it. And then, of course, just rinse off, get all that sediment out of the bottom part. Your next steps will be to repeat this several times until you notice that there's clear water coming out of your hot water tank. Look at all the sediment that was released out of the hot water tank, and that's on the ground. And that was basically fine. It felt like sand was in the hot water heater. What that does, it severely limits how efficient the hot water heater is, because if that's being heated up, you're having to heat up a lot of that gravel first before it even gets to the hot water itself. So this will make it a little bit more efficient. This also makes your water taste a lot better versus having a lot of sediment inside the system. Finally, you can see here where a lot of the debris is starting to clear out. You're starting to see a lot clearer water. Every now and then you'll see chunks where I've run the rod along the bottom, the rinser, in order to kind of help scrape off any bottom sediment. Also, I failed to mention, please turn off your propane tank and any electric that you may have going into the hot water heater. That way you don't have any way of getting shocked. After letting that dry out, I also recommend that you spray off the cover as well as on your side of your trailer to get all the sediment off the side, and as well as in the bottom portion there of the hot water tank. Now everything was dried out. It had sat there for a while, and now we're going to insert the new anode rod. Also, make sure you put some of the tape around the anode rod itself, the white plumbing tape. That way it just gives a better seal inside there. I'm hand lining it up first with my fingers, and then I'm using a torque wrench in order to make sure that fully gets in there and settled. You don't have to. Any wrench is fine. Just tighten enough where you know it's secure. I would not over tighten this. Also, I allow the kids to sit there with me. You're going to notice right here I had a little movement in my camera. But I like to have my little ones sit there and watch what I'm doing so they can, kind of take it all in and learn from it and see it's not all that difficult or hard to do general maintenance. Lastly, I had a little issue right above the hot water heater where it was a hole that was basically allowing bugs or anything else to come inside the travel trailer where the propane line was coming in. I simply took some steel wool, and you see me injecting it here into that opening. That way we could go ahead and plug in that hole to keep bugs from coming in. And I hit the release valve at the top. Product review. The water heater anode rod worked perfectly fine. It's a standard replacement. I've got a link in the description below so you can find it on Amazon. The Camco water heater tank rinser worked out perfectly. It's a simple device, easy to use. Highly recommend getting one of these for your travel trailer.